Okay, welcome to the deep dive. So today we're looking at a whole stack of sources from short-term rental hosts, and they're really trying to get to that holy grail of hosting successful diversification. Our mission here is digging into the business side. What happens when you move beyond, say, just Airbnb and try to expand, maybe onto platforms like Booking.com, because these sources, they really highlight a critical challenge you face when you're trying to fill those empty nights, the blank days. You want maximum visibility, obviously. But expanding, well, it throws up these huge differences in how platforms work, the user experience, and maybe most importantly, how they handle risk, financial risk, property protection.
Exactly. And I think for you listening, what we're really unpacking is this sort of impossible choice hosts face every single day. On one hand, you want that comprehensive protection that makes you think, okay, high damage deposits, right? Cover the worst case scenario. But then you also need to actually get bookings, which means making it easy for the guest, low friction. And the second you try to juggle multiple platforms, oh, that tension it becomes a real crisis. So we really need to define, okay, what's just a simple refundable deposit versus like real comprehensive damage protection?
Sure.
Because the platforms, they can sometimes lead you into a false sense of security there.
Okay, let's start there then. Let's unpack the pain points. When hosts talk about moving over to Booking.com, wow, the language they use is pretty strong. Things like confusing and unhelpful, unintuitive, even unforgivable bugs and niggles. One host mentions struggling for weeks just trying to get their profile live, or even syncing their calendar. Just basic stuff.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is why it feels that way. The sources point straight to the history. Booking.com only supported hotels for many years. Think about that. It was built for big operations, complex rate plans, corporate bookings.
Right, systems designed for managing hundreds of rooms, not a single cottage or apartment.
Exactly. So when they tried to sort of adapt or retrofit that massive system for individual short-term rentals, well, the result was kind of inevitable. You get this user interface that hosts describe as clunky. Some even said it feels like using the internet back in, like, 2005.
2005 internet, wow. So it's fundamentally a mismatch of tools for the job.
It really is. You're wading through settings for rate restrictions that just don't apply to your one property, or navigating drop-down menus clearly built for, global hotel chains. It just takes so much manual effort, which is, frankly, the opposite of what you need if you're